Okay, my name is Krister Thulin. I am working for Scania Commercial Vehicles India since 4 years, based outside Bangalore. And this is the first ethanol bus running in Nagpur, and we celebrated 1 year yesterday. We flagged it off 1 year ago. And it's running, it's a demo bus, and it's the first bus. We have been running this type of buses more than approximately 30 years in Europe. It's 100% local fuel. 100% local fuel. Scania is a very old company. We are almost 125 years old, and we have been in the ethanol engines for almost 100 years. For us, sustainability is the most important thing. Of course, we also bring innovation, quality, and safety into India. Today we will talk about sustainable transport. And why are we talking about that? Yeah, that is of course the climate change, the peak oil. We need to have local energy security. We know that urbanization is coming. It's growing also in India. Air quality is a big problem. And landfill and waste. I will talk more about this. Because we need to save energy of all kinds. We need to take the waste away and make a local fuel for local transport. And we can also create new income for local farmers. Today, we know that the transport sector is heavily dependent on oil. And nothing has happened almost in 100 years. It's still almost 100%. This we need to change. The oil will not be forever. And the urbanization. You know that urban mobility will triple in the coming 20, 30 years. And this is already creating big problems. In my hometown Bangalore, it's totally impossible to go with a car. It has in 10 years the traffic, the average speed has come down from 35 to 10 kilometers an hour. 10 kilometers an hour. And today we know that more people die from air pollution than from traffic accidents. And in India, the official figures are at least more than 6 lakh of people dying in air pollution. I think it's more, unfortunately. Today also we know that 13 of the 20 most polluted cities in the world are in India. 13 out of 20. And more than 90% of solid waste in India goes to landfill. And this creates a war almost out in the rural areas. Because the rural people don't want the waste from the cities, because it is from the cities we create the waste. And 70–80% of the wastewater in India goes untreated. Untreated. That's why we in Nagpur start to make biogas together with the municipality. Biogas to run buses. And I know that Delhi is also interested in this, but maybe if we showcase it in Nagpur, it might happen in Delhi also. And this is a problem, of course, for the groundwater. Because in Bangalore we talk about approximately 30% of the groundwater is poisoned. 30%. And India only have 4% of the water in the world, but 18% of the people, of the population. So we need to save the water. Otherwise we will die. That's very easy. But there are some really good initiatives from Mr. Modi. It's the Make in India with renewable energy. It's the Clean India, Swachh Bharati. and the 100 smart cities, etc. And Mr. Modi gave a speech earlier this year, and he was talking about that he needs to decrease the import of fossil fuels like coal, but also oil. He wants to be 10% renewables 2022, and he wants to have 50% 2030. Quite aggressive, but quite possible also. So either you import oil from Middle East, or you import batteries from China, because you know that 96-97% of the battery comes from China. This is the big bottleneck when we talk about hybrids and electrification. It's the battery. It's not available in that amount. I've been working a lot with hybrids earlier in my earlier jobs at Scania, for example. What we want to discuss is how we create renewable fuels in India. How we take the local waste, create a local fuel for local transport. Local waste, local fuel, local transport. It's a great win-win-win situation. At the same time, we go Euro 5, Euro 6, Bharat Stage 6 overnight. We leapfrog the implementation of Bharat Stage 4 and 5 overnight. Already available commercial biofuels since more than 20 years. It's the bioethanol, the biodiesel, and the biogas. Bioethanol is the biggest fuel in the world when it comes to renewable fuels. Up to 90% CO2 reduction, can be used in buses, coaches, waste collectors, distribution trucks, also cars. Everything. We use the same engine, base engine from Scania, and we just convert it by 40 parts, and then we run it on ethanol instead, in a diesel mode. Biogas, up to 90% CO2 reduction, 40 parts differ from a normal diesel engine. Euro 6. So if we leapfrog from Euro 3 to Euro 6, we cut the emissions, the particulates with 10 times, and the NOx also with 10 times. And we will already do this early next year in Nagpur when we introduce the ethanol buses and later on the biogas buses. We have been doing this, as I told you, since 20-30 years in Stockholm and other parts of Europe. In Stockholm, 100% of all buses runs on renewable fuels in the city. And we have taken some colleagues here from India to showcase this in Stockholm. So please welcome to Stockholm and see it, and then we can discuss it. Just a picture from Nagpur, where we operate the first bioethanol bus. We will also introduce ethanol trucks and biogas city buses next year. Can also be used in trucks for distribution or for example, waste collectors. But the good thing is we can also use it for gensets. So then we can create local fuel in the rural areas and also run it. So we don't need to distribute any fuel anymore. We don't need to import. We don't need to distribute it. We make it where we need it. So what are the benefits with biofuels? We clean up the cities by using waste to make biogas or bioethanol. We use waste. We also clean up the air because we go Euro 6 overnight with an ultra clean fuel. CO2 reduction up to 90%, NOx reduction the same, particles, and it's very robust and cost efficient, and we create local jobs. It's here and now. And we also believe that the part of future is also electric vehicles, but we still think that biofuels are the biggest going forward. Because you know that if we introduce electric vehicles, we also need to have clean electricity. We cannot feed it with coal, because then we should not do it at all. So an average is still not enough. US and UK average of electricity is approximately Euro 4, Euro 5 level when it comes to emissions. And you know that India has almost 70% electricity made out of fossil fuels. And we also have a shortage growing in India every year. Because more and more people, we add more and more people, and they want to have electricity. So how should we feed the buses if we don't have enough electricity to the people? And the cost today is still too expensive. You can see it on the top, we have the electric vehicles. If you take the left up to the left, it's an electric vehicle running on coal electricity. Zero CO2 reduction. Zero CO2 reduction. So, on the other side, you have electric vehicle running on wind power. Of course, you get almost 100% CO2 reduction, but still at very high cost. 3 times, you saw the electric bus on the previous, it cost 3 times to a premium bus today. So the most cost-efficient way is to run it on bioethanol or biogas to cut CO2. Again, local waste to local fuel for local transport. Because this is my favorite picture, actually, because I don't want to come back here in 10, 20 years saying to myself, I could have been part of changing the world, but I did nothing. So that's why when I came to India 4 years ago, I thought this must be a market for renewable fuels. Because you have the waste. We can see waste as an opportunity instead of a problem. So thank you very much, and please feel free to ask questions.